barbecue in the world. It also has a very active Special Olympics community
What's
army of tireless volunteers. You won't find
Jasmine coming in hot already with the Hackamania talk? I don't think there is a headliner, to be honest with you, at Hackamania. As far as I know. As far as I know. But I'm out of the loop. I just show up and do my job. I'm a comedy soldier. But I will be at Hackamania. So the rumors of me not being there are false. Yeah, fuck it. I'm going up against WrestleMania. We can talk WrestleMania. I didn't watch last night. I'm AEW for life. And this Wednesday on Dynamite, backstage footage of the All In London brawl is in the house. That's going to be interesting. That's clearly AEW responding to CM Punk's version of what happened. Now, if they were smart, and this is where NDAs get into the mix, they would review the backstage footage from when Omega and the Bucks got into it with CM Punk at the was it All In or Full Gear or something? I forget. Skakel Fest 2024, Vegas. Watch out. I'm way too lazy to try and pull off my own comedy festival, so I'll let Melton and Gomez do their festivals, and I'll just come in, do my spot, get my money, and leave. I'm an assassin in that regard. But I'm looking forward to it. I don't think the comedy show, as far as I know, is going to be that long, to be honest with you. I mean, by my count, there's only 4 comics on the show. Me, Dixon, Melton, and Ray. Carl's not a comic. He might go up there and like do shtick or whatever, but I don't know. And I believe maybe 2 Vegas comics might be on the show. The great Alex Kool-Aid Ansel and local joke assassin Adam Dominguez. Um, oh, I didn't even know there was a new poster out. See, that's how out of the loop I am. So tell Dave Attell you love Big Earl, and he loves me. Hackamania code. Let me do some promoting here for 20% off. Is quite simply Earl. Tickets. I don't even know what the tickets are, but 20% off is that's a pretty good deal, to be honest with you. So it should be fun. Like I've never met Carl before, so I have really no feelings towards him one way or the other. I've actually never met Pat Dixon. I've never met Ray. And you know what? I've never met. I mean, although me and Melton were on shows together, and usually Red Band's shows at the Ice House, I don't believe we've ever met. So, and I've met Kool-Aid and Alex at the Comedy Store, so it should be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I'm not going to hop on the podcast shitting on Stuttering John and all that stuff. I just want to do the shows. I think there's two comedy shows, Friday and Saturday night, but I don't know. Vince McMahon can and probably would eat shit. And thank you for hashtagging that out. You guys care about me. We only have 14 people in here. We're growing by the minute. Hit the like button, though. There's 10 people in here who haven't hit the like button. There's many ways to contribute to a stream, not just super chats or gifted memberships. Just hitting the like button helps. Commenting in the stream helps. And this is a stream that is open to debate any topic. We can talk wrestling, hockey, comedy, politics. I don't encourage the trolls to come in, but I don't block them. No one is blocked in the stream that I know of. I do have two moderators, Kip Smith and Gina Babina. But Gina is rarely in this stream, so usually Kip Smith is in the house in full charge, and I've told both of them I don't want anyone blocked. Unless you're like spamming porn or something. I can't be associated with that. We can talk about my set at the Comedy Store last night. It went very well. Me and my good buddy Sam Tripoli closed it out. So, all in all, a pretty good evening. And I made a nice paycheck last night. So, that's why the Earlverse streams don't panhandle for money, honey. And good mood last night. The LA Kings, I think they've won, I think 4 in a row now, and I'm not sure. They're now in third in the West, but Vegas is only one behind them, and they play today. So fingers crossed that the Knights roll snake eyes. We also have night 2 of WrestleMania. I don't even know who's on the card. I don't follow WWE. So nursing an energy drink. Gorilla Mind is the energy drink today. Kind of an odd name for an energy drink, but hey, what do I know? I just work here. So I hope you guys had a good Saturday night. Hope you guys have a good week. I'll probably be at the Comedy Store next Saturday night. Who knows? 12:15. I usually get the Saturday night spot. And Jasmine, welcome back to the stream. Good afternoon, Dr. Chow, the Mega G. What did you think of The Rock last night? I'm not going to lie to you, I didn't watch it. I was watching my beloved Los Angeles. The hell's going on here? Were they filming Sons of Anarchy? I hear he won. I want Cody to win tonight. He deserves the strap, man. But I'm going to assume that WWE is pissed at him for starting AEW, so they will hold that against him. Do I turn the neon light when you have the ladies over? It does look very cool. I don't know how it looks to you guys in the stream, but it's pretty cool in person. Now, I thought of putting a neon sign right there that says Daddy Man, but I don't want wires and shit hanging from my kitchen. So that's going to be done upstairs. What up, Ross Incognito? Got a good group in here. Hit the like button. Hit the like button, please. And then this week, I got some potential animation projects. So fingers crossed, everyone, that the Earlverse gets some new funding for his various comedy endeavors. Stephanie McMahon coming to the ring to start us off. I mean, if they really wanted to get it going, they should have Vince come out with doo-doo on his head. But, I appreciate you guys who are watching WrestleMania, tuning into the stream. It's be about an hour stream. We don't stream snipe in here. We don't have guests. Green Goblin, you must be new to the stream, but you are welcomed to the stream. And I expect at some point the great William Zoom will come in. Or maybe he might already be in, but he's just lurking. Uh, Dr. Chow, top three AZN comics. I don't know what AZN means. Arizona? Amazon comics? Dr. Chow, please identify your question. I don't know what that means. But I will tell you before you, maybe AVN comics. Gee, I don't know about that. I don't watch porn, even though it looks like I produce it. Hello! That's a Skakel classic right there. I see what you did there, Nick. Now, but Dr. Chow, I don't watch a lot of stand-up comedy, so I don't really have opinions on the top three comics. Oh, okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. Top Asian comics. I mean, I would say uh, Bobby Lee, Ronnie Chang, and hmm. I mean, Margaret Cho. She's had a very long, successful career. AVN Comics. I mean, they always do have a comic host of the show. I know my friend Kate Quigley did it one year. Ari Spears did it one year. I think Matt Rife did it recently. Um, who else? My friend, very funny, Danielle Stewart did it about 10 years ago. Danielle's someone I started with, and I think she quit comedy, but she was fucking funny, man. Like there's so many funny comics that you guys don't know about. Earl, are you headlining Melton's event? And did he guarantee you a fee? Ray may or may not get paid. That's odd. Well, I don't care if Ray may or may not get paid. That's his business. And I don't talk about my financial duties in a stream, but I can assure you that I'm not leaving Los Angeles without a payment structure. And I've been given that payment structure. I don't know anything about anyone else's pay. That's not me dodging the question. That's just me being uh, the real deal. Well, I mean, Margaret Cho is, she's older, so younger people might not think of Margaret Cho, but she's funny. Yes, I have gotten stiffed by recently, and uh, I am I always say that I'm like a one man comedy Mossad. I never forgive and I never forget. December 29th, 2022, I was playing Harvell's, which is a nightclub slash bar like that Weezer has played. It's the definition of a dive bar. And this guy, Joshua Corley, uh, promised me $200 to do an hour. I did the hour. I'm not going to lie and say I killed. It was a shit bar show, but I did very well. Didn't kill, but I did very well. And then, oh man, give me your PayPal. I'll get you tomorrow. So, of course, tomorrow comes. There's no PayPal. And just by habit, I was walking Lois. Sometimes I take Lois into different neighborhoods to walk her because I don't feel comfortable walking around my neighborhood at night. It's a lot of crime. And it just by happenstance, I picked Harvell's neighborhood, which is in Santa Monica, long story short. Um, and I go in there just to thank the club because the club treated me nice, the bar owners, the bartenders. And they asked me, "Hey, you got paid last night, right?" I'm like, "No," he said, "You guys didn't pay him yet." And they were like, "We paid him right after the show." So for like 6 months, he was shucking and jiving me, delay after delay. Oh, and he hit me with every excuse in the book. I'm going through a breakup, family member died, dog got sick. I mean, literally, those are the top three excuses for a comic not getting fucking paid. And then I just blocked him. Fuck him. And the thing is, after or no, before my set, so I did an hour in a shitty condition, which an hour in a packed comedy club goes by pretty fast, but like in a bar show where you're kind of having to fight the whole show, it seems like 2 hours. And for about 40 minutes before the show, I was giving him comedy advice on how to run shows and what comics to book. So I was trying to help this fucking kid. Uh, so yeah, and there's many other examples, but follow Corley on Instagram. Let him know I sent you. Um, yeah, Danielle Stewart did date T. Wow, you got to be an LA comedy connoisseur to know that, Dr. Chow. But she was so funny. Uh, I have not drunken donuts. Yeah, I mean, it was just insanity. And then he started like playing the victim to me, basically saying I was unreasonable for wanting to get paid. I mean, December 29th, 2022. And here we are, April 7th, 2024. And I still haven't been paid. Now I realize I'm not going to get paid for that, which is fine, I guess, but it's just fucking insane. Uh, I didn't really know crispy chicken that well. It's just a long time. Well, here's the thing is, like I said, he probably thinks I forgot about it and just said, fuck it. I called every comedy club in LA saying, don't book this guy. Now, he wasn't going to get booked anyway, but try getting on any of the local comedy clubs open mics, which is the first step into getting past to the store, at the store, the Improv Laugh Factory. That ain't happening. Now, he probably is sleeping right now with the $200 he's saved by stiffing me, but he'll never work in LA comedy. And he's not good enough to work the road. So I got my revenge. And the best part is he probably has no idea. Cheers. You don't cross me. It may take me a year to get you back, may take me 5 years to get you back, may take me 20. It's literally like the Mossad, when the 72 Olympic Village attacks against the Israeli Olympic team happened. And it was, what was it, the PLO, the Palestine Liberation Army, I think, was the one responsible for killing the Israeli athletes. The Mossad literally got every single person back. Took them, I think they killed the last guy like 22 years later. That's me. I'll always get my revenge. Uh, oh, he doesn't do any comedy show. He quit comedy basically. Top three redhead comedians. Well, Carrot Top. Carrot Top's fucking funny, man. Santino and geez, I'm not gonna say Kathy Griffin, but oh boy, I don't really know the third redhead comic, to be honest. Yeah, Burr. Absolutely Burr. Um, so I mean, Gorilla Minds is it's not the best tasting, but it's not like horrible. Um, but some interesting questions in the stream so far. This is an hour stream on the button, Slick. So get those questions or concerns in. Stop asking me about Hackamania payouts. I only worry about myself. It's like when I do the comedy. Last night I did the Comedy Store. I had no idea who was bringing me up until I got in the green room and looked at the lineup. I don't concern myself with anyone else but me. I don't really consider Louis C.K. as a redhead, but I don't really follow him all that much. I threw in some wild card choices just because, Carrot Top is like gets a lot of shit. Carrot Top's like the Kiss of comics, but Kiss has had a 50-plus-year career, so they can't be that bad. And the same thing with Carrot Top. People think he's a has-been. Do you know how much money that fucking guy makes in Vegas? Not that money is the sole the sole barometer of, you know, how I judge someone's stand-up, but um, he's been a working comic in Vegas for 20 years. which means a lot of people think he's funny. I love Morgan Murphy. We worked the Iron Sheik roast together, and she's great. I'm a big Morgan Murphy should be more famous. She's kind of like me, like I should be more famous or whatever the right word, more known in my case. But I don't think Fitzsimmons is a redhead. Uh, and I would not put Jay Moore on any top comedy list. He's very funny, but like, uh, I mean, Carrot Top's a great writer. And, you think prop humor is kind of hacky and um, easy to do, but the prop still has to have a punchline behind it. I've never met Eddie Murphy. I didn't watch stand up. I watched more TV shows. Like my first couple comedy influences, and I've told you guys this before. Archie Bunker, TV shows like The White Shadow, the Don Rickles roast. Well, you probably would be right on that, Dr. Chow. I've been in comedy a long time in Los Angeles. Um, well, I don't think Jay Moore's a redhead. Um, I've seen Coming to America, but I've never seen um, I've never met Eddie Murphy. Yeah, so that's like 20 years, Tool Army. So you don't get a residency at a hotel for 20 years in Vegas and suck. Um, I can appreciate prop comedy. Angel Salazar was another great prop comic. I mean, he was a little hacky, but like he was in on the joke though. He knew he was hacky and he still did it. He's like, I don't give a fuck. I get a lot of pussy from this job. I get a lot of money and a lot of drugs. I'm good. So come on, hit the like button, guys. Hit the like button. I mean, I would drag around those suitcases if I made the money Carrot Top made. What do you think of impressionist Earl? It's a skill. Like I can only do one impression of the Indian from Predator. Um, my friend Jeff Richards is brilliant at impressions. Melissa Villasenor is a very good impressionist with certain characters. My friend Christy Miller does a spot on share. I can't do that. My voice is so distinct, from the standpoint of it's so deep that it's very hard for me to mimic someone else. Rip Taylor as well. I love Rip Taylor. The $1.98 Beauty Show. Uh, I mean, Uh, I don't think people really care who Jay Moore married. I don't think it surprised anyone because no one was really thinking about it. Although I will say I do have a funny Jay Moore story, and that is we were all at Ralphie May's memorial at the Improv, um, and it was a very sad occasion. A lot of people didn't want to go up because they really loved Ralphie, and Jay didn't want to really go up, but he had to. So he's sitting by me next to the stage and he was crying. So I pulled out my dick pic and I showed it to him and it made him laugh. And then he told a really funny story. And then I went on after Jay Moore and I started doing my Gary Hart impression, Abdullah the Butcher's manager. And the only person laughing was Sean Waltman, AKA the 123 kid who was in the front row. So, what would 18 likes actually do for you? Is it really necessary? Well, it's just respect, Daniel. I think and maybe Dr. Chow can answer this question. I think it gets you more into the algorithm. It just shows more people are listening to you and invested in the stream. Which I always say. There's many ways to um, contribute in a stream other than super chats. There's hitting the likes. There's commenting in not even necessarily in the stream, but if you leave a comment, after the video is over. What do you think of Michael Jackson? Well, I believe he's a kid diddler. They all can't be lying. Um, but Beat It is a great song. I mean, and a great video. I just think it's funny at the end of the Beat It video that Michael Jackson walks down the stairs and breaks up a fight between the Bloods and the Crips. It's not really believable. But it also has two of my favorite guitar players in the song, Steve Lukather, who was doing the rhythm parts of Beat It, and the great, as you guys all know, Eddie Van Halen doing the solo. But it's you're right, Grimace. But you know, prop comedy, you could, like I remember one time I saw Carrot Top, and he had a tennis racket with like tampons on it, and he kept going like this. He's like, "Look, it's the Venus Williams tennis racket." That's fucking funny, man. And it's a silly, quick joke, but you still have to have a punchline. I could hold up this can right now. Gorilla Mines. It's not funny at all. You got to have a joke behind it. Otherwise, I'm just holding up a red can. So I'm a fan of Carrot Top. Yeah, and Dr. Chow. Yeah, it's just a gesture of support, and I do think it has something to do, like, with an algorithm break in. I mean, I remember the one Sunday night uh, stream I did where I had, like, it's the most likes I've ever had in one stream. It was like 120 likes. And the next day I was all over, the videos you may like um, segment of, the would be the left side of the screen. So, well, I don't want thumbs down, but I don't edit my page at all. So, yeah, I mean, you know, listen, I'm not going to lie to you guys. Do I wish I had 240 people in here right now instead of 24? I absolutely do. But I've only been really monetized streaming for 3 months, so I'm at where I probably thought I would be. Do I wish it was more? Yeah, 100% I do. But I'm not really streaming for money. The money is William Zoom put it the best. Think of me as a bartender of the stream, and you guys are the patrons. And if you like what I'm providing, you tip. If you don't, you just listen. Um, but that's the whole thing. You can ask anyone from Kevin Brennan to me to Dr. Chow to whoever, you know, the whole goal of any stream probably isn't even really the money aspects of it, but it's getting into the algorithm for the views. And I realize that how I do this stream is not probably conducive to big numbers from the standpoint of the subjects I talk about: hockey, wrestling. I could make a lot of money probably and probably have a zero at the end of that 22 if I just started talking shit about comics and roasting the Dabbleverse and all that. It's just not interesting to me. I'm actually really happy in my comedy career. Do I wish I was more known? Absolutely. No comic wants to be unknown. I mean, you do comedy because you like the attention of being in front of a crowd. Um, but last night I made $500 for 45 minutes of work. So I can come and do this stream and not have it be incredibly profitable at the moment. But I still do it because I like talking to you guys. Um, so, well, I hardly think I'm a titan of YouTube, but I see potential, possibly. I just got to find a way to get the wrestling fans in here, get the hockey fans in here, because there's a lot of profitable wrestling streams, to be honest. And just fans asking questions about Cody Rhodes or whatever. Hockey fans coming in, hey, do you like Connor McDavid versus Drysaitel? And then you get the comedy fans in here, and I don't not talk about the Dabbleverse. I just prefer not to talk about it. Because there's just too many people talking about it already. Like, I have nothing to add to it. I really don't. Because if I did, I'd probably start roasting people in it. Uh, Jim Carrey, yeah, Jim Carrey's very good because it's not just the physical voice that he does; it's the mimicking of It's the body movements. Like his William Shatner impression is so good because it's not just the vocal inflection of William Shatner, it's the body movements William Shatner did. So if you watched Star Trek, you would go, "Oh man, yeah, Shatner did kind of dip his right shoulder." Like it's just a level of detail that very few impressionists do. Like when I do the impression of the Indian from Predator, it's a spot on impression, but I don't have the Indian, Sonny Landham, by the way. Major, you better take a look at this. Blaine's body. It's gone. That's just his vocal inflection. I'm not like moving like Sonny Landham did in Predator. So, I mean, yeah, Jeannie, so we can talk about porn in here. I don't really watch porn, even though it looks like I produce it. Hello, it's a Skakel classic there. Do you got paid like an employee at the store, or are you an independent contractor? You guys love talking about money in this stream, but I'm an honest soldier. I am not an employee of the store. I'm a independent contractor. Um, the only way out of this hole, Major, is through that valley through the east. But I wouldn't waste that on a broke dick dog. Yeah, I mean, I'm just a paid regular. Now there are some paid regulars who still work at the store to get a paycheck, like you guys remember Josh Martin. He is a paid regular at the store, but he moved to New York. He also was a bartender at the store. So he would literally 10 bar and his spot would say be at midnight. So someone would fill in for him and he'd be on stage. 15 minutes later, he'd be back behind the bar. So I myself am just a paid regular. I'm not a employee of the store. No, we fill out taxes and all that shit, and that's on us. So, there's that. And, we're independent contractors, but I guess I don't know how it's viewed if there are some door guys who get passed at the store and they still work there. Now, some don't. As soon as you get hired as a paid regular, most quit, like a Stephen Fury, I think a Chris Riggins, but some still work there. Because it's a steady pay. Minimum wage in California now, I think it's like $20. So, that's yeah. Brian Moses is he does not. Well, I mean, he obviously runs roast battle every week, but he's not like a door guy anymore. Uh, well, you're more than welcome to come visit at the Comedy Store, and if Dr. Chow, took a picture by my name on the wall, which is right out in front, that would break the internet. So, the Comedy Store I mean, it's arguable with the Cellar in New York and now the Mothership in Austin, who's the top club. But those are the three, and the Stand in New York. Those, in my opinion, are the four top clubs. So, um, it's really depends on what you like and what you consider a good time. I mean, the Comedy Store is like a nightclub, and the Mothership is awesome. Like, Don Barris performs most every night. Nobody is looking through my kitchen window. It's just the way um, the blinds sit because Lois attacked the blinds one night. Comedy is so easy; even a DeVito can do it. I've never seen Ray do comedy, so I have zero opinion on his comedy. But I guess I'll see it at the end of May. Earl, I have tried to get my Robin Crosby picture back because I got to assume that Tawny Kitane's daughter is like, who the fuck is this guy? I would love to get that back, but I don't really talk to Tawny Kitane's daughter at all, to be honest with you. I do like Larry David. Uh, no, she was. I don't know. Lois is a real wild card when I leave her home alone, and as you can see, my counters are pretty high. I mean, that's about maybe 3 feet, 4 feet. And she somehow what she did was she maneuvered this chair over there, hopped on the counter, walked all the way over to the end of that counter, jumped across to get on the kitchen counter, got in the sink, and started pawing the blinds. I mean, for a little dog, she's pretty aggressive. Um, so, that's why I take her everywhere with me. I mean, I've met AJ Benza a couple times. He was very good friends with my friend Eric. And, so we would go out to dinner. He probably wouldn't remember me, to be honest with you. But Lois is a fucking, you talk about Dr. Chow being the Mega G. Lois is the canine Mega G. She's an animal. She's unbelievable with her shiftiness. She dug a hole to the brake line of my Dodge Hellcat because she wanted out so bad. Yeah, I mean, I just don't talk WWE anymore. I don't want to I have no opinion on WrestleMania because I just don't know who's wrestling. I'm an AEW guy, and I know that's not going to exactly bring in the big numbers, to be frank. She could escape Alcatraz, like no doubt about it. But I'm trying to figure out the algorithms and the right times to do this. No, I do not. I have a Jeep now that I have to give up in a month and a half. So I'm looking at the new Ford Broncos. They have a really cool new Ford Bronco, like it's 2024 Bronco, but it looks like an old Bronco. Like it's a weird looking car. So, but on the dealership website, it says call for price, which probably means it's a little out of my budget. Um, I have a great um, credit rating because I have one rule in life: I buy what I can afford. So whether it be the visor on my head, the Aviator Nation hoodie I'm wearing, the cheap silver chain that I love, to the neon sign. My one rule of finance is if I'm nervous about buying it, I don't buy it. So, I might get a lesser version of this Bronco. They have like 10 different models. So, Benza is a total douche phony from New York. Asked my friend from high school. I think I know Allison. She's a Beverly Hills girl. I would have him on my podcast. That could break me if I got OJ Simpson on my podcast. That would break me. But I don't know how to get a hold of him. Well, yeah, absolutely. It means dealer markup, but most of the time, like they have the other nine Broncos, 39,000, 42,000. They go up in price a couple grand each one. So the fact that they don't even list the price on this vintage new Bronco probably means it's around 90 grand. And, I can't afford that. I mean, to be honest with you, I could afford it, but then it'd be like month to month. Oh my God, I can't do this because I've got to save for this. Uh, so would you talk about 100%? I would talk the first fucking hour of the podcast would be like, why does everyone in the world think you're a killer? But you know, you said when you got off that you were going to find the real killers, and every day you're fucking playing golf. So I don't think the real killers are on the seventh hole at Pinmar. That's a municipal course in Santa Monica. My vintage Bronco doubled in value. Yeah, I mean, you know, like a lot of my hockey jerseys, have. I was just offered $10,000 for my Eric Bolton 9/11 jersey. It's the actual shirt that Eric Bolton wore. After 9/11, the Rangers and the Sabres played in the first basically pro sporting event in North America. And so the Rangers and Sabres auctioned off the 23 shirts each team wore. 20 were game worn. The other three were in warm ups, but not game worn. And all the money in the auction went to the firefighters and police. So I paid, I think, after taxes and everything, the hammer fee of an auction, which is usually 10% of the price of the jersey. I think it was a little over 3 grand. And so that shirt has, basically tripled, more than tripled in value. Now, I've been offered that amount before, but I don't want to make money off of 9/11. But The reality is that it's not 10 grand because it's Eric Bolton, but these shirts, only 23 were made for each team. No replicas, no authentics. So there are 46 of these shirts in the world, and no one is going to sell them. Like, I think of the 46 shirts, maybe two have sold. One of them mine. I sold my Steve McKenna pre-game warm-up jersey from that game, and that was for like 2 grand. So you can imagine what a game worn shirt that was fought in would get. Because Eric Bolton fought the great um, Sandy McCarthy in that game. Yeah, I would do a live podcast with him from the Bronco. Um, no, I just, I've looked at Mustangs, but I don't know if I want a fast car anymore because where I live, you can't drive fast. So what the fuck would I want a Mustang or a Challenger or another Hellcat? Although I think someone told me they're discontinuing the Hellcat. It's probably not profitable. I mean, the one I had was 707 horsepower. And when I drove off the lot, the guy waves me down and goes, "Hey, just so you know, bro, it's probably about 750 horsepower, but we're only legally allowed to say it's 707." Now, I don't know if he was bullshitting me or not, but do you ever smell those jerseys before you go to bed? I do not. Well, you can. Well, don't spoil it in here, Grange, But I don't care. You could tell me right now. The opening. So let me say this. You guys say if I talked about WWE more, I'd get some money, honey, because we've been on here for 41 minutes. Let me thank the tippers in the stream so far. Nothing, man. Come on, guys. Just kidding. So if you guys don't want to know what just happened in WrestleMania, leave the stream for now. Otherwise, Grange, talk about what happened. Oh, well, that was the jersey. For those of you not knowing what Nationalist is talking about, so the Rangers and the Sabres, they play. I think the game was September 18th, and apparently both teams just put the shirts unwashed in a pile in like a locker room deep in the Madison Square Garden. And the jersey sat. I think the auction took about a month, and then it took about a couple more weeks to ship them out. So they literally sat unwashed in a pile for almost 2 months. Now, I don't know if you've ever smelled a hockey jersey before after it's been sweated in the night of, it smells pretty bad. 2 months, it's brutal. So when I got the shirt in the mail, I remember I wore it to a show. This is when I used to wear hockey jerseys on stage, and no one would go near me. It smelled so fucking bad. I had to have it dry cleaned 3 times. Um, so I hope that is a fun story for you guys. Yes, I did get a ticket making a left into the Comedy Store, going east. I live west of the Comedy Store, so when I take Sunset, I go east to get there, and it's illegal to make a left turn into the parking lot. And I did it, and I got pulled over, and then about probably hundreds of comics stood outside the car going, "Free Earl, free Earl." And finally, the sheriff comes and whispers to me, "Who are you?" I said, "Please just write this ticket, please." Um, so, oh, wow. I mean, I'm not a CM Punk guy, but that's pretty cool. That would be a good opening, Drunken Donuts. I couldn't Secret Snake. You have no idea how bad that jersey smelled. And I went to hug my friend Christy Miller, and she's like, "Get the fuck away from me. You stink like shit." Uh, well, I mean, I'm hoping, and I know it's only like $5 if you subscribe to Peacock, but I don't. So I'm AEW for life. Although I did try and watch TNA the other night because I'm friends with Dolph Ziggler. He had a good match with Alex Shelley, but the rest I wasn't really down with. And I tried to watch New Japan, but I just don't know very many of those guys. We got 15 minutes left to go in the stream, guys. 15 minutes, baby dolls. Which comics would have made the best wrestlers? I've got to say myself, I would make a great heel, which is why I did so well on Roast Battle. I never really roast battled as Earl Skakel. I roast battled as Rick Rude meets Will Ospreay. Bruv. Other than me, I would say Ari Shafir because he just doesn't give a fuck. Um, Kevin Brennan would be a good manager. I don't think physically he could wrestle. Let me see who else. Um, Jeselnik would be a good. Jeselnik would be a great heel commentator. Um, Ralphie May could have been like the comedy version of Abdullah the Butcher. Tripoli would be a good manager. I don't think Brendan Schaub's a comic, so I don't know what you're bringing his name up for. Yeah, Ryan O'Neal, to show you how tough Ryan O'Neal is, like he practices jujitsu. And one night we're fucking around in the parking lot, and he got me in a plum clench, which is, basically he does this behind your head and pulls you to him. I couldn't get out of it. We were just fucking around, but I don't think Segura would make a great wrestler. I mean, Don Barris would. He'd be like a George the Animal Steel. I mean, Hinchcliffe would because he could get people to hate him. I mean, I don't think physically he could wrestle bigger guys, but like, he'd be a good heel commentator. I'd like to pair Jeselnik with Hinchcliffe on TV. Did you ever go to the White House? No, I did not. I did not go to the White House. Hit the like button, guys. We got 15 more minutes before Earl has to take care of some business. Blue Iris could have been like the fabulous Moolah. Trying to think, Doc Willis could have been, like little Hercules. Trying to think, Rick Ingram would be a good shit talker. I took over for the Iron Patriot on Kill Tony for a couple shows, and then I didn't really have very much fun on it, to be honest with you. And then I did, I think, Kill Tony 3 times as a panelist. I guess you could look it up on certain episodes, but I never really did that well on Kill Tony because I was actually trying to give comedy advice. Looking back, it probably would have been better if I just bullied open micers. I don't know about that, Dr. Chow. You can't. He couldn't work with anyone. Like in wrestling, you got to work with people. You got to sell for the other person. It's like improv, yes, and the reason why Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega are so good because they sell for each other and they let the other talk, and it's a good build. Did you ever meet Amy Schumer? I met Amy Schumer once when we did Roast Battle in New York, and I could just tell she was not a fan of Roast Battle. Let's just put it that way. I don't know who Uncle Laser is. I never really hung out with the Kill Tony crowd, because Kill Tony at the Comedy Store was a very popular show, obviously. But once the show ended, like those people were irrelevant at the Comedy Store. Like nobody cared. Yeah, I don't know who Uncle Laser is. Oh yeah, I mean, Rick Ingram's very, very good. I brought him up the other night at the Comedy Store. Um, yeah, I don't know. Uncle Laser could be in front of my face right now. I wouldn't know who he is, and he probably wouldn't know who I was. Like I never. Like I said, I think I was the Iron Patriot for 2 Kill Tonys, and then maybe I was a panelist for 3. Um, you know, yeah, I know Rick Ingram was there the night Owen Hart died. Well, I think a lot of Kill Tony comics, Roast Battle comics as well are okay. You go from doing 1 minute on Kill Tony to getting a following, and then you don't have fucking 10 minutes because you're used to doing 1 minute. Same thing with roast battle. If you do a 3-round roast battle, you're on stage doing jokes, maybe 3 to 4 minutes total. And if you're doing a 1 round roast battle, it's literally the amount of time you're talking, doing material is probably a minute. And now you got to fucking uh, do, you know, 10, 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes of stand up. It ain't pretty for most of them. Uh, Jeremiah, yeah, I think he's still, I don't really keep up with him, but did I miss the D1K size of wrestler segment? I don't know what that means, Ambrose. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, he's still a paid regular at the store, but he does the road a lot. But like I could tell Jeremiah loves doing the road. Like he loves, doing morning radio and meet and greets and all. And I like doing meet and greets as well, but like, you know, I'll only do the road myself if I'm making a profit. Um oh, okay. Did I miss the dick size of wrestler segment? Oh, okay, thank you, Dr. Chow. We didn't talk about that today. It's a tight stream. Speaking of tight streams, hello. We got 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes, baby dolls. Well, I don't know what he does on the road, but I said that yesterday, Ambrose. I said that yesterday. So, because you got to understand, doing the road, like Matt Rife, he doesn't do the road, he's doing comedy. You're playing a sold out theater. You don't even have to do morning radio for that. You're getting picked up to do the theater gig in a limo or not very nice, a town car or SUV. Um, so that's not doing the road. Doing the road is like doing some sea-level club in North Dakota where you got to take a cab from the airport to the hotel and the cab to the gig. So you're almost losing money, even if you're headlining. And then you got to hawk your fucking t-shirts like a beggar on the streets of Tijuana. Uh, so thank you, Dr. Nova. I think, how many days a week do you work at the Comedy Store? It's different. Some nights or some days it's 2 to 3. Some weeks it's 2 to 3 times. Some weeks it's one. And every now and then, not often, maybe 1 or 2 weeks a year, I don't get a spot. Uh, I like healthy TV dinners, like when I go to Fresh to Go Foods in West Hollywood. Discount code 15% off if you just say Earl 15. Uh, but I don't eat like Swanson's Hungry Man dinner because they're so fucking full um, of sodium. Yeah, Jim Florentine is a great man. I got a spot at the Improv this week. Actually, I had one there 2 weeks ago. I'm just more comfortable at the Comedy Store, to be honest with you. It's my brand of humor, kind of dark, dry, sarcastic. I rarely work the Laugh Factory, and I don't really care. Like any club that works Jeremy Piven, like, hey, you think he's funny, then you're probably not going to think I'm funny. Um, but I don't hate on the Laugh Factory though. Is there some kind of conflict with Jeremiah W and Tony H? I have no idea, to be honest with you. I don't keep up with other people's conflicts. Yeah, I mean, I'm working the Ice House this Friday, actually. Why are guys like Callan on the road every week? Does the dude just blow the money on divorce? He had a TV show and miss his birth for a buck. I don't know, bro. Like, I mean, listen, Slash constantly tours, whether it's Guns N' Roses or um, his solo band, because I'll assume that, when you have a no prenup to a stripper and you had kids, you think Slash doesn't need money. There's a reason he tours nonstop. Well, Chris Mack, I won't be here in 10 minutes. So, um, that could be a great call. This, Adam, call this episode Beggar on the Streets of Tijuana. Uh, yeah, I mean, I don't know Brian Callen's money situation. Uh, don't care either. Um, I mean, the road. When you're a comic of his name, brand, I guess you could, probably make 50 grand a weekend doing show. I mean, I saw what Rob Schneider made. Man, I feel like, why is this big movie star doing comedy Trust me, you'd be doing it too if you made the money Rob made. And I get why Schaub does the road. Because Schaub's got a fan base that they don't care if he's funny or not. They just want to meet him after the show. Like, it's kind of brilliant, to be honest with you. No, I was raised Catholic. I mean, my mother's last name was Weinman, but we were raised Catholic. Like, I was an altar boy and all that shit. All right, we got 5 minutes left, babies. Do you ever hang out with Schaub? Absolutely not. Schaub quit the rub. No idea if he did or didn't, but good for him, I guess. Good for audience members too. But I will say this about Schaub: the few times I met him at the Comedy Store, he was always nice, humble. I think he recognized me as a kind of an elder, I guess you'd say, at the Comedy Store. Um, and I got no beef with him. I don't think he's funny, but like he never really worked at it. You can't walk into stand-up comedy and expect to be good at it and not work at it. It's literally like if I say, I want to do MMA, I want to fight in the UFC next week. I'd be horrible. But because I know Joe Rogan, he could get me a fight, and I'd probably get my ass kicked. No, I'd absolutely get my ass kicked. I do believe he did Genie, him and his brother, but I don't know what happened to it. Uh, yeah, I don't know about that, Drunken Donuts. I don't know how to do that. I was raised in the Church of Catholicism, racehorses and carbon, Great Lakes carbon, that is. Uh, I mean, I don't speak that lingo, Dr. Chow. Um, yeah, I mean, he's pretty hardcore conservative. All right, we got 3 minutes left, baby dolls. 3 minutes left in the Earlverse Sunday night stream. Let's get to 20 likes, babies. Let's get to likes. Yes, enjoy the eclipse tomorrow, everyone. Don't look directly into the sun. We'll probably do a stream tomorrow, Monday night, probably around 5 p.m. Um, yeah, I mean, Brendan Schaub is not a paid regular at the Comedy Store, but he does get to do like Sam Tripoli's chaos shows and the outside promoter shows. But truth be told, they don't really have a lot of outside promoter shows anymore at the Comedy Store. So, there's not a lot of performance opportunities for guys like Schaub. Like Dane Cook isn't passed at the Comedy Store. Yes, get your Hackmania passes. You don't have to super chat me tonight, uh, but 20% off with the discount code Earl. And I don't know the lineup. You got to go to hackmania.com, folks. I'm an independent contractor for Hackmania. I only care what I'm getting paid. I don't care what anyone else is getting paid. I don't care. Thank you. We got to 24 likes in 2 seconds. We got 2 minutes, guys. 2 minutes left to go in the Earlverse Sunday night stream. I probably won't be going live at Vegas, but I'll bring my iPad, and who knows? Maybe I will, to kill an hour. Um, maybe I have met Norm Macdonald, very cool guy. Rest in peace to one of the goats. Um, that could be fun. When my fantasy Sunday night stream one day will be doing the hotel is in Venice. The apartment that Stallone lived in Cobra is an actual hotel in Venice, and I think it's room 7 at the Venice Hotel. I don't really. I usually stay at 1 minute left, guys. 1 minute. I'm not going to say anything, but that in 50 seconds, I just hit end stream. Usually stay at a big resort hotel. I want your eyes, pig. They'll say I'm insane. You won't take me in. Um, so even people like me have rights, pig. The funny thing is that scene in Cobra, Stallone was watching a football game in his trailer. So Brian E. Thompson, the bad guy from Cobra, 20 Seconds, guys, literally was doing that line to a stand-in. 15 seconds, guys. Dr. Chow, thanks for participating. 30 likes. I appreciate you guys. No super chats tonight, but that's okay. I don't fucking panhandle for money, bitch.